G'day guys and gal. Whether you find guts and tissue gross, or you just want to tear it out of your abusive father while screaming blood for the blood god, we can all agree that anatomy is interesting. Starting off as single-cell organisms, we now have multiple different organs that perform various biological miracles to not only keep us alive, but also to allow us to enjoy Warhammer lore. Despite how cool human anatomy can be, it doesn't hold a candle to the wacky shit that is happening inside the bodies of the various Xenos in the setting. Xeno anatomies, created by the intelligent design of the old ones, rather than just billions of years of trial and error. I mean, something pretty gnarly has to occur for a fungal spore to turn into a happy-go-lucky murder machine in the span of a few short months. If it wasn't already obvious, I am back from my holiday. I got to explore the big US, met some MILFs, partied with some locals, met a few of you guys, partied some more, and lit myself on fire for my mate's vlog. That was my first proper holiday I've taken in over 3 years, since going full-time with the YouTube, and it was unreal. But I'm glad I'm home now, and I'm keen to take the channel to a whole new level this year. For whatever reason, this past month has been huge for the channel's growth, and at this rate, taking over Luton and becoming the #1 Warhammer lore channel on the planet within the next 2 years is genuinely possible. So grab your nuts, grab your waifu body pillow, and hit subscribe. My fragile ego would greatly appreciate it. Today we'll go over the anatomies of the various races in 40k. I'll also be including certain human groups, such as Space Marines and Custodies, because to absolutely nobody's shock, they look a bit different from the average Joe if you slice them from balls to brain. Let's get into it. Starting us off with the Eldar, because I know you perverts want to know what's actually going on inside your imaginary big titty Eldari girlfriends. I know this because that's what I want to know. This may come as a surprise to many, but physically, the Eldar shit on the average human. They are faster and stronger, with higher endurance and agility. There is pretty much no human on this planet that could win an MMA fight against even the nerdiest bitch-ass Eldar. When an Eldar walks, or just moves in general, it's said to be incredibly unnerving and is reminiscent of the Uncanny Valley effect, due to how perfect and precise their movements are. So what exactly is going under the hood to make them so specky? Fortunately for us, Amagos once sliced one of the space elves open and had a peek inside, allowing us to really figure out what is going on. For starters, an Eldar heart beats at twice the speed as that of a human's. This is likely the core explanation of their increased speed, stamina, strength, and reflexes, as if their hearts are working that fast and are built to work that fast, they would reap quite a few benefits. Their brains are also significantly more complex and dense, which makes sense as every Eldar is a psyker to some degree. A drawback of having mega complex brains is that they experience emotion and sensation to a way greater degree than that of a human. Their highs are crazy high, like higher than a gacked sesh gremlin at a Bushdorf, whilst their lows are nearly bottomless. An Eldar losing a loved one is an Eldar who is incredibly unstable, either crying themselves to death or becoming a living aspect of vengeance and hatred. It was this intensity of emotions, combined with them all being psychers, that allowed the Eldar to murderfuck Slaanesh into existence. The Eldar live for about 1,000 years, but this can be greatly extended to 10,000 years or more, depending on the Eldar. Eldrad is over 10,000 years and he's still kicking. Judging by their anatomy, it's unclear if the Eldar was selectively evolved from an existing animal, such as a bird or a reptile, or handcrafted from scratch by the old ones. I like to think that the old ones took an existing animal and forcibly evolved it into the Eldar. This would explain some of their defects, and it would help contextualize the extent of the old ones' power. Some other fun facts about Eldar anatomy is that their bones are lighter yet stronger than human bones. Their pointy ears are loaded with nerve endings, and they have extra bone and coiled powerful muscles which help with their rapid agility and movements. It's heavily implied that if a human was forced to move like an Eldar, they would break, twist, and dislocate various parts of their body. The final fun fact is that the Eldar have absolutely 0% body fat, so there you go. Tight fucking rigs all round. Oh yeah, and Eldar males have cocks, and Eldar females have vagines. Next up is the Orcs. Despite growing from a fungal format, Orcs still require blood, organs, and anatomy to function. In fact, their shroomy aspects are said to work in total harmony with their sentient animal side to create the elite killing machines that they are. Stuff like the fact that they can survive despite getting large parts of their bodies blown apart, or even straight up decapitation is testament to this fact. The fungal aspect of an orc means that they can avoid relying on essential organs to live, so stuff like hitting an orc in the heart or even the brains is not as much as a guaranteed kill as if you would do it to a human. This is why that despite minimal armor, orcs can still take a serious load of punishment. Their green skin and green blood was originally thought to be due to the consumption of boatloads of ogre cum, but it's since been revealed that the orcs actually photosynthesize, meaning that they don't actually need to physically eat shit to survive. The green skin and blood are like the leaves of the orc plant that absorbs the sunlight. As orcs don't seem to know how to farm, manage supply lines, or cook food, this makes a lot of sense, especially since they grow and maintain an obscene amount of muscle mass. Not enough protein in the entire galaxy for that shit. In saying that though, they are more than capable of eating and digesting dead ass. Fortunately for the galaxy and the setting as a whole, orcs don't have cocks, nor do they have sexual desires. Warhammer 40k would be extremely dark if orcs raped and pillaged the other races. As such, orcs don't have genders, so at the very least they are super progressive. It's common knowledge that it's the desire of every enlightened human to eventually become an orc. They reproduce via shedding fungal spores. They shed the most amount of the spores upon their death. From there, the spores behave very similarly to normal fungus. They need moisture and nutrients to grow into a fully fledged orc. Unfortunately for anyone who isn't an orc, the dead body of an orc can be used as a breeding ground for its own spores. So as a rule of thumb, if you kill an orc army, the battle isn't over until every last green thing on the ground is cremated. Orcs cannot die of old age, hence are immortal. However, they can wither and die if they get super bored. The reason why there isn't any old orcs is that their favourite method of attack is to charge Imperial gun lines, butt-ass naked. As a final fun fact, the saying, "you have a thick skull," is incredibly applicable to orcs, as not only are they fundamentally fucking retarded, but they actually have unbelievably thick skulls. Going back to the theory that the old ones edited existing life instead of creating it from scratch, it's like the orcs were a splice of a powerful resilient predator as well as an incredibly fast growing and complex fungus. Unlike the Eldar and the Orcs, who are over-engineered and optimized by the old ones, the Tau anatomy is comparatively basic and could even be considered inferior to that of a human's. Despite looking like a bunch of fish people with orifices on their forehead, the Tau evolved from bovines, which is made obvious by the fact that their home planet is full of plains and steppes. Also, they literally have fucking hooves. Their skin is also rough, leathery, and doesn't sweat. Their vision is interesting. It can see a wider array of lights and colors, such as ultraviolet and infrared lights, but their pupils can't dilate. This means that for scanning for enemy forces and getting detailed perceptions of targets, they are superior to humans there. But for rapid pace engagements, such as someone about to punch you in the face, they have trouble seeing that well and reacting. This is why the Tau are notoriously shit at melee. Their eyes are not designed for it. In terms of strength, it varies depending on the Tau caste. Water and air caste Tau are very weak and frail, with the fire and earth caste being stockier and stronger. However, even the toughest fire warrior Tau are still physically weaker and less imposing than the average human warrior. This is because the Tau never ate their greens, and they didn't have a good role model like Popeye for when they were growing up. Also, their homeworld has weaker gravity, so no shit. A Tau brain is impressive and advanced, allowing them to create absolute marvels of technology in very short amount of times. However, they have zero capability for psychers and their souls are incredibly dim. Hence, demons don't really pay them much attention and they have trouble possessing them. As a side effect of not being engineered by the old ones, the Tau have an incredibly short lifespan, generally passing away around the 60 to 80 year mark, despite their advances in nutrition and healthcare. This is for all Tau except the Ethereals, who are the Tau leaders. They live a lot longer. The Ethereals have actually banned life-extending technologies likely to maintain their advantage. Beyond that, the Tau have relatively recognizable hearts, brains, lungs, and cocks. So what about the Space Marines and the other human super soldiers? What about the Primarchs? What is different about their anatomies that gives them so much girth? A Space Marine is a human who is implanted with gene seed, a special artificial organ that simulates extreme changes in the human body and grows other special organs over time. These changes include the basics like bigger muscles, increased height, denser bones, bigger brains, and unfortunately, limper dicks. However, that's not all. Space Marines are granted an extra heart as well as an extra lung to help get oxygen and blood around their now significantly more demanding bodies. Space Marine blood also clots incredibly quickly, meaning it's very rare for them to die from just straight up blood loss. This, combined with the fact that their pain tolerance is absurdly high, means it's very common for Space Marines to lose limbs mid-battle and continue fighting as if nothing had happened. Space Marine immune systems are also off the charts, being able to fend off nearly all disease, poison, and venom. Only the god plagues of Nurgle or very advanced Xeno poisons seem to be able to affect the Astartes. A Space Marine's rib cage also fuses together to create a solid bone plating, meaning it's incredibly hard to hit a Space Marine's vital organs even if you do get past their armor. And let's say you do puncture their heart, they got another one, baby. I'm not going to go through what every gene seed in a Space Marine does, as I've already got a video for that, but a few other fun facts about their anatomy include their ability to spit acid, consume nearly anything for nutrients, can put themselves into dormant cocoon-like states, and they can activate a gland that fills them full of battle stimulants. I don't think people appreciate just how much of a walking weapon a Space Marine is until you understand what is going on under the hood. For a Primarch, their anatomy is wild. We know that they also have multiple hearts and a brain, but beyond that, it's a mystery. When Horus was wounded and cut open by his apothecaries to suss what was going on, even they were like, what the fuck are we looking at? And had absolutely no idea what any of these organs were or what they did. So if a genius super soldier doctor was able to look inside a Primarch's body and have no clue what the fuck is going on, then there's not much hope for me. A custodian is interesting. Whilst Space Marines have artificial organs inserted into them at various stages of their training, custodians have their DNA altered, which naturally causes them to grow into a superhuman state. The lore doesn't go into a custodian creation much, but from what we do know, they don't grow any special organs and nothing is added to them. Hence, custodians only have one heart and two lungs. However, the organs they do have are obscenely advanced. Puncturing a custodian's heart isn't a death sentence for them, nor is shooting them in the brain. Often they can just tank punishment to their vital organs, kill whoever dealt the damage, and then make a full recovery. They have been engineered at a molecular level to be the pinnacle of humanity, both physically, mentally, and spiritually. They are so perfect that Chaos has designated them as entirely incorruptible. Like even when Drashian, one of the most powerful demons in existence, was directly inserted into a custodian, he literally sighed because he knew he was going to be stuck there for a very long time. So whilst we don't know what is going under the hood, we know it's pretty fucking good. For Necrons, there really isn't any anatomy to talk about because, you know, they're a bunch of fucking robots. Tyranids are also a challenge to discuss, as each Tyranid type would have a completely different anatomy. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month to give you access to a boatload of cheeky hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more anatomical content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!